Now let's move on to some word problems. And actually I wanted to show you a couple of things about some of these practice sections in this Kaplan book. The whole section on percent in this book is really very good, and you should do all the practice in order. Now, if you're working out of that Kaplan book, I'm on page 267 if you want to work with me. But I want to show you these that are in fractions, which, boy, that really bothers my students when they see them in fractions. But it's really not a big deal. So we still know we're doing PBRs, what we call it, to shorten it up, problems, because we've been doing them for 3 pages, okay? So it says find 33 1/3%. So the percent is 33 1/3, which, yikes, okay, it's a mixed number, of 51. So 51 is the base. Now, you can come over here and do your part. Don't skip your steps. Now, just because you start getting used to doing the problems, don't start skipping things. Then you empty it out and you put your numbers in. We don't know part, so P stays in. 51. Just put it as a fraction here. It's fine. Now, if you've got your calculator, so we're going to work this on a calculator. Let me remind you how to put in your mixed number. So you want to say 33, because we're going to multiply 33 1/3 times the 51 over 100. That's how you're going to work it. So you got 33 second ND. There's your mixed number, 1/3. Move the cursor over times 51 divided by 100. And it's 17. So your part is 17. If you want to put it in just like that, you still could do it like that with the line as a fraction. But, you know, it's multiply and divide. So that's how you do it, okay? Now let's just do a few word problems. And we're going to kind of skip around. So we're going to work from page 265 and then do a couple on the other page too. So looking at this chart right here on page 265, a local newspaper printed the following high school basketball standings. So here's wins and losses, your teams, and so on. Which of the following expressions could be used to find what percent of its total games Fairfax has won? And notice they don't want an answer. They just want you to set up the problem. So that is a PBR. Don't start. Now, I have a lot of students, and when they get to multiple choice questions, they don't do any of their practice work because they're just going to pick A, B, and C. So they skip doing any problems. So I don't want you to do that. I still want you to do what we've learned, what we've practiced, and then take your stuff and go find the correct answer. So it says, which of the following expressions could be used to find what percent, so we're looking for percent, of its total games. So total games would be the base, right? So the total games, Fairfax has won. So now look at Fairfax. It tells you the wins and it tells you the losses. But does it tell you their total games that they played? No. So you have to calculate that. So they must have played 12 games. And we want to know how many the percent that they won. So the wins would be the 9 out of the 12, which we added from the chart, and we're looking for the rate. Now go ahead and set yourself up. So you know it's line equals line over 100, parts on the top, base on the bottom. We're looking for rate, so we're multiplying and dividing. So when you reset it up like we talked about in the previous video to find rate, then you got 9 times 100 divided by 12. So you come over here and you look at your choices and you see that you would choose 9 times 100 divided by 12. Now please remember that multiplication and division can be in different orders. Like you could have had 100 times 9 divided by 12. You know, it could have been written differently, and you're supposed to know that those It doesn't matter the order that you multiply things in. Well, I said multiplication and division. Multiplication, it doesn't matter the order that you can divide things, that you multiply things in, okay? And then let's go look at number 13. A jacket with a price tag of $128 is on a rack with the following sign. All items, 25% off, marked price, discount taken at the register. By how much will the price be reduced when the jacket is taken to the register? So they want to know, here's the price tag. It's on sale for this much off. They want to know how much it will be reduced. In other words, what's the discount it's going to have at the register. So, come to your paper. This is number 13. We know it's P equals, B equals, R equals. You got to watch these sale price questions because they can be tricky, okay? Now, we know that the whole price is $128. That would be our base. We know that the percent off is 25. And we're only looking for the discount, the part. So in this case, it works like this. I'll show you an example where it's presented differently. So you know that it's part over base equals rate over 100. And then we're looking for part. The base is 128. And then the 25 like so. And then, of course, you multiply and divide. And you work it out. And you get 32. So how much did you save? Now, that's not how much you paid. Notice, this is the discount, your savings. This is what stays in your pocket. So if they asked you for how much they paid, which they didn't, that's not what the question is, then you would have had to take your price and subtract out your discount to figure out how much you paid. Now, this is something they really like to see if you can do. So just make note of that. That's not what this problem is saying, but make note of that because they do like to ask you that. All right, now let's flip the page to page 266 and 267. And let's look at number 18, okay? That's kind of a weird problem. Douglas received a 6% raise. If his old monthly salary was this, what is his salary now? And they even give you a hint. I bet they don't do that on the test, though. Find the amount of the raise, then add the raise to the monthly salary. So think about this. If this is what you made per month before you got a raise, then you get a raise. So you get a raise, that's a portion of what you used to make, and it gets added back to your original amount. So this is a two-step percent problem. These are extremely common. So we take our problem, and our paper, and don't skip any steps. Go ahead, PBR, label what you know. You got 6%. If you made that much in a month, that has to be your base, right? And you're looking for the amount of a raise. A raise would have to be your part. So then line equals line over 100. Part stays in. Take out your, don't write your comma, please. And then we're looking for 6. Then we have 6 over 100, excuse me. And then we go over here and work it. So 6 times 2250 divided by 100. So how much of a raise did you get per month? $135. Okay, now that's not how much money you make total. No, you still get your base salary that you used to make, but now it's going to be added to this raise. So $22.50 plus that. Now don't clear your calculator. See, 135 is in there. Just hit the plus sign. See how it brings the answer down? And then you put your $22.50 in. And so you make now per month $23.85. Okay, now let's see. Let's do number 21, and then I think you've pretty much got the hang of some of these. Lydia pays $3 sales tax on a $50 purchase. Which of the following expressions, notice they don't want the answer, could be used to find the sales tax rate in her state? Now, that is going to be our PBR problem. Whoops. P equals B equals R equals. You pay, excuse me, you pay $3 in sales tax. So what would that be? It's not the rate because it didn't give us a percent. In fact, it says which of the following expressions could be used to find the sales tax rate. So we're looking for rates. So if you paid sales tax, tax would be the part, so $3. $50 is the total purchase, so then you would just set it up as line equals line over 100, 3 over 50, and you're looking for your rate. Now notice, they don't want the answer, so don't get too carried away with your work. Just set it up like we've talked about how to set it up, and now you can go over here and find it. So I've got 3 times 100 over 50, and you can see that choice A would be 3 times 100 over 50. And so that would be our selection. Okay, so we'll come back and work some what I call backdoor percent problems in another video.